How to spot paired boards in poker and avoid trips. Have you ever found yourself confused about how to handle paired boards in poker? Understanding this concept can really change your game. A paired board occurs when two community cards share the same rank. For example, if the flop shows 8 of spades, 8 of diamonds, and 3 of clubs, you have a paired board. Recognizing these boards is essential because they can significantly affect your hand's strength and strategy. To spot a paired board, simply look for any repeated ranks among the community cards. This can happen on the flop, turn, or river. Interestingly, about 1 in 6 flops will be paired. If the previous streets were unpaired, the turn can pair the board about 19% of the time, while the river can do so around 26% of the time. Paired boards are important because they increase the likelihood that either you or your opponent could have trips, which is 3 of a kind. Trips are a strong hand and can easily beat pairs or two pairs. So, when you see a paired board, it is wise to be cautious about your hand's strength and betting strategy. To avoid losing to trips on paired boards, first, assess your hand relative to the board. If the board is paired, hands like top pair or two pair are weaker than usual. Be careful if the betting becomes aggressive, as your opponent might have trips. Next, pay attention to how your opponents behave. Players often bet aggressively on paired boards if they have trips. If someone suddenly raises the stakes, it could indicate they hold a strong hand. Using your position is also key. If you are the pre-flop aggressor and in a strong position, you often have a better range on high paired boards, like aces or kings. You can confidently make a continuation bet here. However, on medium or low paired boards, your range advantage decreases. In these cases, it is better to check more often and avoid overcommitting. Another tip is to avoid over-bluffing. Paired boards can tempt players to bluff because they seem static. However, over-bluffing can be costly if your opponent has trips or a strong hand. Lastly, consider the board texture. High paired boards, such as those with aces or kings, usually favor the pre-flop raiser. In contrast, medium or low paired boards requiring more caution. The chances of trips in your opponent's range are higher on low paired boards, so adjust your strategy accordingly. Be prepared to check raise or fold if you have a marginal hand on a paired board and face aggression. It is often better to check or fold than to call or raise unless you have a strong read or hand. In summary, spotting paired boards involves looking for repeated ranks among community cards. To avoid losing to trips, adjust your hand evaluation and betting strategy. Use your position wisely, understand your range relative to the board, watch your opponents, and be cautious with medium-strength hands on paired boards. This approach will help you navigate paired board textures effectively and minimize costly mistakes.